It is not a political gimmick that William Ruto's home senator, Nandi senator, not home senator, Nandi senator, Samson Cheruru, is proposing extension of the presidential term during the Bomas meeting. I got that news and I paid close attention because the Nandi senator Samson Cheruru has been a very strong defender of William Ruto and has been the pro-talks. On the other end, another close friend of William Ruto, Tenure, is still insisting that the talks need to stop immediately. And so there seems to be some mixed signals as to whether this is by design or just a mere coincidence of two people speaking from different sides of the mouth is something that only time will tell. But I want to say that the moment Cheruru speaks, he cannot go and make such a proposal before the Bomas team without informing President Ruto, because what will be the impact? Actually, you realize that even when they were doing post-mortem on, I don't know, there's pre-mortem, on what would be the outrage, what will the public say about it, they would have thought maybe of someone else proposing it. But why Cheruru? There is something that was intended, and I want to see, apart from what will be an intention to, even extend the term of the president from 5 years to 7 years, I see the intelligence hand in that push. And I want us to look at it clearly, because I may want to remind you at this moment that this discussion is not new. I think now this is the third person speaking about it. The first time there was an MP from Garissa who spoke about it. We squashed, and of course, because looking at the profile of the person who was talking, we were telling the country that this is a talk that is just somewhere. It's just that we don't want to entertain it. We don't want it to see as if it's coming from the big office, but it had the blessings. And so, apart from extension of the term, Cheruru is also saying that we should put in the constitution office of the prime minister, who should be sitting in parliament as government spokesperson, or rather to defend government. This is what we do. This is akin to what we had in the Grand Coalition government between 2008 to 2011, when Raila Odinga was the prime minister and was government spokesperson, was actually defending government in the National Assembly. This is akin to that. Now, remember, the Bomas team are just receiving, they're just receiving suggestions, submissions from different quarters. There is even another submission from IBC, which I fully support, saying, let's have the presidential election separate with the other elections because it's one that has a problem. Let's do it differently. But I wish we do the presidential, I wish we do the MP first before doing the presidential, because it will be speculative, but it will give us a picture, and again, it will also help us to concentrate on it, so that the presidential vote is not influenced or does not influence the other elected posts. Now, the challenge here is, with that, there are people who will vote for, now our voting system is you must be given the 7 papers. You must be given to vote for MCA, MP, women rep, governor, senator, your MP, your women rep, your MCA, and the presidential. So you must be given the 6. Now, in a situation that we're going to separate the presidential one, then it means someone can go the first day and vote for the ones, then abstain from the presidential vote if he opts to. That is also something that I think the political class will really need to interrogate deeper to see if they will be willing to get into that. But then, I don't think Cheruru is speaking out of the moon. And I see this proposal more of an intelligence experiment than even the real idea of introducing such an amendment. But it had there is some 2 pointers. Before we look at the intelligence part, there is a pointer that comes out clearly. It's a signal that Ruto is clearly or has now embraced the constitutional moment. Let me tell you, the proposal to alter the presidential term is one that can only be decided by the sovereign. So that what does it mean? Our current constitution envisions 5 years, that you can have additional 2 terms for 10 years. And so now we are talking about 7, but you can still vie after 7 years. That means 14. Even though, I can tell you, if the president serves for 7 years, Kenyan election, the probability of that person getting re-election is not easy. Because it will be, if you don't work, you can't get it. People are fed up. If this is just 1 year, and the good Kenyans are already telling William Ruto that, look here, things are not good, we are not happy, and maliza wende. And this is 1 year, and just because of the way things have been tightened, it's something that people are not accepting. So, someone like Cheruru proposing an amendment that will see if adopted, because it's a trap that can be laid there. You know, as me will take it, say, okay, fine, let's see it, and let's go to referendum. Making such an amendment, a constitutional proposal, that would require a constitutional change, that will require a referendum. What does it tell you? That he doesn't know whether the president's team does not care or is not afraid about a referendum. And if anything, maybe they will also embrace it in that manner. But then, I also have to make some second observation before I look at the intelligence bit. Ruto, a senator, the Senate was not speaking on behalf of UDA party. I think UDA party is yet to give a submission. Even if they made a submission, I may not know. But maybe their submission, maybe they did not make. So, a senator, if he gave his proposal in his capacity as non-senator, then the mere fact of appearing to give a suggestion goes against the forces and the powers that have been insisting that those talks need to end. That is a caucus of Mount Kenya team. There is a caucus in Mount Kenya that believes the talks are irrelevant, they are not supposed to continue, and they need to stop. So, if that is one thing that also needed to be seen. Now, let's look at the intelligence objective of floating that proposal, because that's why I see I may be today, for the better part of this week, I will see content creators and reporters going to the streets and asking people, would you want the presidential term to be increased? You know, and I think now they will run some few questionnaires here and there, use different models and different avenues to run questionnaires and ask Kenyans what they would want to see from President Ruto speaking now. Intelligence has 2 objectives in this. Number 1, they want to test the popularity of President Ruto. And this is how it works. Already, as I told you, that in the wake of the new taxes and hard economic times, Ruto is shedding off popularity. And of course, when at a time when people think Mr. President has not done us fair or has not been so good to us, then someone comes and say, forget about even the 1 year, we even want him to be in power for 7 years. You know, this information is supposed to rattle people's minds, and now people start asking, now should we have Ruto? You know, it's something that's gonna run. And by the mere fact that it's coming from Samson Cheruru, who is from William Ruto's backyard, they will actually know what Ruto's backyard really think about it. Actually, it might be intended for them, because if there is a place that president has been facing rebellion, that one is in that county of Nandi. So that's why I look at it in terms of testing the popularity. Number two, the intelligence will be playing a script to divert the attention of Kenyans. And they diverting the attention of Kenyans to talk more about Ruto. And it will be about Ruto wants a new power. It will be more about what President Ruto wants. Because as you speak now, I think there is less concern about what Ruto is doing and what Ruto is saying. And people are more inclined towards what is happening in the country. People are more thinking about the cost of fuel, the cost of living. Generally, that is a national concern than even extending the term of the president by 7 years. So it's also supposed to divert the attention. This is floated to become a topic. You see civil society organizations reacting. You see the churches reacting. And the more this becomes an agenda, it is going to funika. Ruto is coming. I think he's even jetted back in the country. And you would I think you would avoid the discussion about the cost of fuel and all that. And this is one of the strategies that I see has been laid by the Intel team. Thank you.